The thing is when you bring an agent in or a new agent or a prospect and you sit them down and you say like, hey, you can go make 150, $250,000 this year. No problem. There's agents on our team doing it that are just agents, right? You can go do that and you can do it consistently, not like 60 grand in 1 month, nothing for 3 months, 60 grand again, right? But like, we're going to go close 20 grand every month and we're going to do it consistently. Totally possible, right?
Yep.
But the thing is they think they're going to do that by not picking up the phone.
Yes.
And the only way we preach to do it is pick up the phone and talk to more people.
Yes.
And then get better at following up with those people and then get better at converting internet leads into transactions. And so for a lot of agents, it's a shell shock for them to come in and sit next to someone that just picks up the phone and calls homeowners all day and finds people that want to sell their house. That is like, that's unusual. That's real, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's going to sound funny because there are so many agents that do that, but also there's so many agents out there that just can't pick up a phone. And so we bring them into shadow to sit next to someone to one, hear someone else say, yeah, I'm crushing it, right? Because a lot of our agents are crushing it. And so to hear someone else say, yeah, you could come here and crush it just like me, right? And also to show them what they're actually getting themselves into. Can they pick up the phone and make a cold call? Because the worst thing is getting someone onboarded through all the administrative piece and find out that they have call reluctant, right? That like, not only do they not know how to do it, which I can teach you how to do it, but they're unwilling to actually pick up the phone and put it to their ear. Say, do you want to buy or sell a house, right? And so I just want to weed those people out as quickly as possible. Like before I go through the whole onboarding, I would do it the same no matter where I was at. If I was selling solar, before I did onboarding, I would go with the guy and say like, okay, you knock on the next door. No, unwilling to knock on the door, probably not a fit, bro. Sorry.
Love it. So this is huge because this is a really good tool to leverage when you have like the human resources to be able to do that, which is shadowing what he's talking about, right? So, they have in the field real estate agents, but also they have an office aspect of their organization where reps can slam the phones at the office. Is that correct? And both work in the office and in the field, or do you have two separate departments, or how does that run again?
So great question. So we have a select number of inside sales agents that only stay in the office, but most of our agents spend their mornings in the office on the phone and the afternoons out on appointment.
Okay, cool. So in terms of shadowing, in his case, they know to produce at a high level, which is what we want, right? If we bring reps into our organization, we want them to be financially impacted. We want them to crush it and be super happy with their job experience, their income. And they know, because they're a really good sales organization at Be Wealthy, they know that to be a top performer, to be a consistent six-figure, 150 to 250K per income plus earner, that it takes picking up the phone. So one of the screening tools that Michael uses in the recruiting process is he gets people to go, okay, I get it. I have initial interest, right? Then he passes them off to shadow one of the reps, right? The reps obviously have to be on board with that, which means they need to be, performers. If they're making good money, they're happy with the organization. If they care about the growth of the company, which they probably do if they're doing well, they care enough to maybe be shadowed by a potential newbie, if I'm tracking. He passes them off to performer so that guy or gal can see that person hit the phones and see this is exactly what it looks like. And they can see that person actively say, this is what it looks like to crush it here. By the way, I freaking love my job and I crush it. I love working at this company, right? But not only is that person like a third party voice, like recruiting that person, but it's a screener because the potential recruit is saying, okay, this is what it looks like. And it's Michael setting expectations at the same time and using that as a screening tool, which is super cool, super applicable to, I'd probably say, probably most sales models, kind of like what you were referring to. I love that. One of the things that you kind of alluded to earlier too is obviously like the market blew up in the last 3 years. So interest rates are increasing and the market's different. It's going to be different for the next 1 to 2 years. You kind of alluded to recruiting probably being easier this year. At least that's kind of maybe what I heard. So in terms of the recession coming, like for me, for like a service perspective, we recruit into commission-based sales opportunities. Like recessions come in, that means layoffs are happening with the bigger organizations. People with salaries are getting forced into other opportunities. So it's like my perspective, the best recruiting opportunity ever in the next couple of years. Like, how do you guys look at building the sales organization during the recession in the next like 1 to 2 years?
Yeah. So the beauty of any recession is that first, it's going to humble a lot of people that started during the good times, right? Yeah. Everybody that's kind of been through it, they're going to be like, oh, it's back to hard work. It's going to be a little lean, but they'll know, right? I've been in real estate for 7 years. And when I first started, it wasn't like a recession, but it wasn't what it was 2 years ago, right? And so I remember like the switch when it was like right after COVID, how crazy things got in sales. And so, yeah, we're seeing there become more interest from agents that are a higher caliber of agent that typically would say, I could go do this all on my own. Well, now a lot of those people are finding that they're like, like pipeline isn't as full as it was before. And because they didn't build out a business with systems and processes to get them to the next level, then what they're doing now is they're saying, oh, I need some of these systems and processes, right? And so one, that's what we're doing on our kind of our Be Wealthy side, is we're finding teams, like small teams, and we're saying like, hey, we have the systems and processes to help you go and get to that next level. But two, at the individual agent level, we're able to go to them and say, hey, the reason that, you know, things are drying up is because you don't have the systems and processes. You don't know how to work. You don't know how to work the leads that are unpaid leads. And Zillow turned you off because you weren't big enough to work with them, and they're going through financial troubles, right? We're big enough that we can go get leads that you can't get access to anymore because we're big. And unfortunately, individual agents just can't get access.
Yeah.
These platforms don't have faith in them, right? And so we have more opportunity on this side than ever before.